Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Trey. I'm going to do a demo video today for you non-shavers or beginner shavers who just want some tips from somebody who's been shaving for a long time. It's really important. It's crucial in shaving. Some crucial things are going to be your mixture, your slip solution. You know, I use a 2-bottle process. One with, I use Johnson Baby shampoo. A lot of people use other different stuff, but I use Johnson Baby shampoo, like literally a couple of drops in one bottle, and then I actually use Dawn dish liquid in another one. And the one Dawn bottle I just use for cleaning and for wetting the vehicle. I use it just for slip. I don't use it for install. So anyhow, you can accomplish the same thing a lot of different ways. Again, this is just the way that I do it. A lot of guys do it a lot of different ways, but this is just for some tips. So we're going to overcut everything on the window. We're going to make it a little long, a little wide, a little tall. Everything's going to be overcut. On the top edge, I'm going to leave it slightly overcut. Nothing aggressive. I'm actually going to try to make kind of a micro edge pattern and just leave it long on the bottom, and then I'll slide it just so that it's overhanging. I don't want a big edge. A lot of error in shaving comes from having too big of an edge, not having the edge secured properly before shaving, things like that, trying to rush it. There's no rushing a perfect shave. If it's perfect, it takes time. So follow with me. We're going to cut this out and shave a window. This is my Dawn dish soap. Super slippery. When I say super long on the bottom, I mean like I literally leave it an inch long on the bottom. It's not just for, I don't just pass up the gasket. I put it so far down in the window it can't peel. Probably say 19 years window tinting, maybe 3 windows have peeled in my entire career. A double cut. This is going to be part 1. There's going to be a drying time, and then you'll have to follow along in part 2. See me actually cut the top on the inside. Okay, so what I'm going to do here first, I got it overhanging a good, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/4, anyway, I keep it long. I cut my back edge first and then I slide it back, because what I'm actually going to do when I drop it in, I kind of install the window film just like you would install an actual window. I drop the driver's side down corner in, and then I drop the back in and kind of slide it back up in so I can actually fill all the way out the gasket. I don't ever have gaps on the outside or inside edge because I go way beyond those. So the way that I do that is I leave the film wet, I align both pieces, I grab my back cut, and nothing has to be too crucial here. You just want to keep it straight, because you're actually just going to lift it up and you're going to slide it back, so that you've got a good 1/8 of an inch overhang. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to slide it back a little further than that, because I don't like the way that cut. And I got plenty of room in the front, so all you do is just recut it. Much better. So now I'm going to slide it back. Again, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, whatever you feel comfortable with. Remember, you're going to need to slide it forward, so if you want that 1/8 of an inch on both sides, leave it a 1/4 and then split the difference before you cut the top off. Now I got plenty of room to slide back forward. I'm gonna watch that back edge, make sure I don't pull it too far, because I don't want a gap anywhere. Push out my bubbles. Now we're going to secure the window. Some of you may stretch film as you put it on. I like to stretch it a little bit, kind of pull a little bit of the extra tension out of it. I mask my doors off with trash bags. I don't know how y'all do it. Some people have fancy chamois. Trash bag works just fine. I've already pulled the seals out of the inside. You can see here I've already masked my felts. Some people are doing that. Some people aren't. People say there's no such thing as perfect window tint, but me and a lot of my friends, we disagree. It doesn't happen every time. You'll get a speck or two here or there. But for the most part, if you really try hard and you keep a good clean shop, keep your glass, put your peel board clean the vehicle when you pull it in, do the best you can to combat the dust, and usually you'll at least turn out close enough to perfect that you can fingernail out a speck or two and nobody will ever notice. So straighten my edges, and in here I'm going to take you with me. And see right down here in this bottom edge where this is going in the gasket, if you want, you see how I just rounded that corner just a little bit, so I kind of cheated back in there, way back in there. So now I don't have to really get a file or anything like that and get crazy with chewing on the glass, because I've kind of just left myself that little tiny window right there. Now I lay it on the inside, I'm going to lay my glass edge to about right here and have just enough to just shave off the edge. I don't need a whole lot of material there. I just need just enough to go over the edge. And a lot of times, if you can just align with the edge and then dry your window and then shave it, it'll turn, oh my goodness, it'll turn out so pretty. But anyhow, get you hung back up here. You should see the contraption I've rigged together to hold my phone. Alright. So I've already cleaned the window on the inside, but I'm going to clean it again just so that people can see how I clean. This truck had tint on it when I pulled it in. I've already removed it. And I just use regular good masking tape here. Hang my trash bag on the door lock. Nothing fancy or crazy. And then now I can get a little careless with the water, and I can do a really, really thorough job rinsing that dirt down, which will allow you to have, the 1 or 2 speck install that you're looking for, rather than, a couple 16 over in this corner and 5 down there that a lot of customers don't realize. But if you're really looking for a perfect install, this is a good way to start. So I've already bladed the window, but typically I blade the window, scrub the window, rinse the window, dry the window, rinse the window again right before install. But when I rinse it for the final rinse, I'm using my Johnson baby shampoo solution, not the Dawn dish soap, getting all that off the glass and cleaning it out of the way. And I like these scrubbies because you can shove them back in the corner really good. And it kind of cleans off the felt all the way around and the gasket all the way around as you're cleaning the window. But then I always take my tint knife, slide it back around the gasket, stick it down in the bottom down here, make sure I get everything loose. And we'll bump it down. Top, and we're done with this bottle now. So I hang that up, that way I don't accidentally grab the wrong bottle, and I hang it out of reach. And when I scrub, I'm also scrubbing this top edge. There's a lot of dirt. I mean, the majority of the dirt on this window is probably actually on that top edge, more than on the glass itself, if I bet. grab a Johnson bottle. I use Bounty paper towels. Some people use other stuff. Because I use them. They've always worked good for me. Blue shop rags, I love those, but they're expensive. So I'm wiping off this top edge first, and then I'm coming down on the glass, but making sure that I don't start or stop in the corner and leave any place for dirt to collect. Tape come loose over here on me on accident. I can fix that right back up real quick. Alright. So now we clean the top edge, we clean the corners. Pretty much all we really need to do right now is rinse, but just to ensure that I've gotten all the paper towel debris off, I kind of missed the whole window. Now when I come back with my squeegee, I do it a little different. I start here in the front, I'll roll around. I don't get anywhere near that top edge. I leave that top edge alone. I don't want to drag nothing up towards it or nothing. So then I do the same repeated process over and over again until I run out of glass. Now that last wipe you can usually swing back and clean it up pretty good. And now when I rinse, I don't put a lot of pressure. I'm not trying to, not a lot of fast movement. Move really slowly, carefully. Trying to disturb the air around me as little as possible. At this point, it's not really about the glass. We know the glass is clean. The other thing I like to do is I like to turn my bottle into a mist and kind of do one of these numbers just to maybe clean the air. Got to move my window out of the way. Bear with me 1 second here. Hang it right here for speed purposes. And then I have it hanging upside down. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I peel from the back corner forward. I always hang it upside down. I never mastered the fingernail trick or the open knife release liner trick. Still use my knife. Sop it up real good. Never touch the glue. And then we drop this front corner down in. Ralph Van Pelt calls this the power bomb. Watch that back behind here. Make sure nothing wrinkles up. And you just want to kind of set it down in there. Take your time. Slide that front corner way back in as far as you can get it till you know this back's going to clear. And then when the back's going to clear, you can lift it, tuck it down in, and just slide it down in there. Real easy. Slide this on back where we saved our little point back there. Same thing here in the front. Not that I need to usually, but I still check my outside to make sure I'm not one way or the other. That's my doorbell, you'll have to forgive it. And I like that spot right there. Now what I'm gonna do, really light squeegee. Nothing heavy at all. I really actually don't even, sometimes I don't even squeegee them right here. I just go ahead and start heating the outside now. But for video purposes, I'm gonna do every step. I'm not gonna skip any. But what I'll do is kind of give a firm little tack in the middle. But on the rest of it, like I'm not even really pushing. I'm just getting the majority of the water out. I don't want a big puddle back there, so to speak. I don't want it dry, because if you actually have it too dry right now, when you heat the outside, you're going to trap too much of the moisture in. So that's why you need a lot of the moisture still in that glass. Now you can do this with a heat gun. You can do it with 2 heat guns, 10 heat guns. You can do it with a rocket. I use a torch, a little tiny propane torch. I'm going to heat the whole window, but I heat it in about 4-inch paths. kind of something about like this. I don't get anywhere near the edges. If I do, I get away from them really fast. I like a torch because with the torch I can heat up the whole window really fast. With the heat gun, by the time you get started with one side and get back to the other side's cold. So that's why I like the torch trick, because I like to heat my whole window up. I don't tell my customers that they have to wait to roll their windows down. They can roll their windows down soon. I'm going to roll their windows down before they leave and double check myself. So, and then when you feel it on the inside, you really just want to feel heat. It doesn't have to be hot. You just want to feel heat. Know it's warm. If you feel hot and you burn your hand, you got it way too hot. So now I'm gonna go back to my super slippy solution. And now I'm gonna really squeegee it. And I mean, I'm probably putting 45 to 60 pounds of pressure on this squeegee right now. I want every bit of moisture I can get out from underneath that glass. And very small strokes. The further you squeegee like this in a big long pass, you're not pushing. The faster you move the squeegee, the less work you're doing. You really want small, 2-inch strokes tops. I mean, if you can, the smaller the better, really. I get to the corners. Push them really hard. And that's what I like this tool for, because it's got a rubber edge, so it's not going to scratch the glass, but it's really good in the corners. And I start in the middle and just go towards the outside edge. Same thing on the front. Now, be careful doing this because a lot of them have the auto up. You'll screw yourself. But you can bump the window up to where you can make sure you didn't touch. And now you can squeegee out this bottom edge. You can go ahead and peel your felt tape off. Get it way back in there real good. Now, I'm going to leave it sit about 10-15 minutes before I ever touch that edge. I'll move on to some other windows. We'll come back to that. I'll make quite a few. See you in a few.